You're listening to the all-new CultureCast, Chicagoland's finest podcast.
I am the Gorehound.
I'm Nick.
And we are the all-new CultureCast. Catching up after a few... no, we're not catching up. The Gorehound is catching up because he was absent last week.
Yeah, you went to Ohio to... I don't know what you're doing in Ohio.
Yeah, I was doing some boring environmental work that... I actually ended up getting back the day of the recording, but I was so behind on everything that I was just like, I can't do anything for the next 2 days. But you guys held on superbly. I listened to it and it was fantastic.
So how is your second family in Ohio there?
There is nothing in Ohio. Honestly, it's not as boring as Iowa, but it was like I have a few stories, but they're more work related, so they're kind of boring. But so this week I have 2 sticky notes full of things that I want to talk about, and so it's kind of a catch up to see what the all new CultureCast what we've been up to.
What we've been up to, we're it's kind of I guess our regular feature, what have you been watching, but a whole episode dedicated to it.
Yeah, so maybe we will skip out on this segment for the next 2 podcasts or something.
Probably not a bad idea. Depends on, I guess, what we're doing for the next couple podcasts. So
TBD at this point.
To be determined. We got a couple of ideas, and I got some I want to share with you after we're done with this recording. But anyway, let's. I guess before we jump into our topic du jour, do you have a man crush of the week?
Oh shit, I did. Yes, I do. Let me see. Yes, I do, and it will go right along into our segment. Very odd, but Jeremy Renner.
Okay.
I've never had a man crush towards him, but we saw Arrival in theaters on Thanksgiving. Just me and the Graveyard Queen. We just decided we were like, all right, why not see a movie?
It's forget you, family. We're going to the movies instead.
Yeah. So because we ended up spending Thanksgiving night just by ourselves, which was very nice and relaxing.
I bet.
And so we went to the movies and we saw that just kind of randomly. There wasn't really a whole lot out that we wanted to see, but we saw this in part because it had aliens. And she had heard it was really good also, and I remember Jen saying that she had watched it. So it was really good. It was she found it to be kind of depressing.
Oh, jeez.
But I found it to be more, exciting. Are you familiar with the premise?
All I know, and I don't want you to spoil it because I do want to see it.
It's got a good twist.
I hear there's a twist in it. I don't want to be spoiled on the twist.
Yeah.
All I know is that a bunch of alien ships pop up over Earth, and Amy Adams goes in to try to figure out what they're talking because she's like a linguist or something.
Yeah.
And hijinks ensue.
Yeah. No, and it's not a twist in the sense that it all hits.
Don't.
All right.
Don't even go there.
Okay.
I don't want to even possibly be hinted at what it could be. I want to go in blind.
Okay, well, we'll move past this, but I think this would be a good topic for a future topic because Jen had seen it, and I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this one.
It's been gaining a lot of buzz.
Yeah, and it's worthy of it.
Now that the holidays are coming up, I'm hoping that trips to the theater might be in a bit of an uptick in that. I have not. My wife and I, we haven't really gone to the movie theater at all since we saw Star Trek Beyond back in the summer. So I kind of miss going.
Oh yeah, the week after
we got married.
Yeah. And those 3 podcasts where we were just ripping on the movie theater.
Yeah. The Charlestown movie theater. So we haven't been to one in nearly 6 months, which, it's not the worst thing that can happen, but, we used to go to the movies fairly frequently, so it's kind of miss doing that. So
got to get those Groupon deals.
With like the studio movie grill or something.
Yeah, that's what we do. Or the discount movie theater.
That is a nice discount movie theater.
Yeah, classic.
And is it classic cinema? In
Oh yeah,
Glendale Heights.
Might be. I was just kind of referring to it as.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a classic cinema, but
I don't know.
It's great. I saw a movie in there last year, and I was amazed for a second run theater how nice it actually was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I love how it's in, not to continue on with this train of thought, but I love how it's in like the most unsuspecting place ever.
Oh yeah, because we usually get there when we were seeing a few movies in the summer. We would, because she really likes shopping at Old Navy, and so we would like get there early and go to Old Navy and just like walk along that strip, and then go into Sports Authority and be like, how does anybody afford anything in this store? And then we go to Old Navy where we can afford everything.
Right. I'd like a fur coat. $5.
Yeah. So, but yeah, moving on from Arrival, we saw Jungle Book.
I hear that's pretty good too.
Actually, we just saw this. Oh, I guess it wasn't last night. It was on Tuesday night. Yeah, we rented it, and it was I
guess you didn't like it.
I don't know. Wasn't really a fan of the original. I never really got like a whole lot of appeal out of the original. It was obviously her choice to watch it, but it was very interesting to see the crazy CGI that they did, and there's it's lot
supposed to be really good.
Right, the CGI was fantastic. I mean, I really didn't know what was real and what wasn't. I mean, other than the obvious, but there's a lot of scenes where I'm like, was that real or what? So,
with that movie doing as good as it did, Cinderella, the live action remake of Cinderella that came out about a year or so ago, how good that did. And Beauty and the Beast is coming up. And that one's going. I just know that one's going to do gangbusters because people love that movie.
Yeah, and you got Emma Watson, who's like super popular right now.
I can only imagine, like Disney's going to keep riding this gravy train, the live action remakes until it's you're going to get a lot of it. I wonder what the next live action remake will be for Disney there.
I'm looking forward to The Little Mermaid with Chloe Grace Moretz because
she might be too old for the role now.
Well, I mean, I believe that she's filming it.
Oh, they actually are making it.
Right, that's...
Oh, I thought you were just speculating. I didn't hear about The Little Mermaid live action.
I don't know. I mean, because, yes, Chloe does have some appeal to, like, little girls, but I really like her as an actress, and I want to see this movie now, so...
Oh, I have bad news.
It got canceled?
Chloe Grace Moretz departs live action Little Mermaid.
Why would she do that?
I don't...
They pick up Emma Watson?
I don't know. Let's see. It was did in September, so let me go to Wikipedia, the source of all truth, to find out if they have any updates. The Little Mermaid. Live action film.
I really don't know why she would drop out of that.
I don't know. I think not much information beyond that on the Wikipedia page. Let me see. The article that I see in front of me, she puts other films on hold. Interesting.
We will have to do
wait. You know what?
Go ahead.
Okay. If this is the same Little Mermaid, this is not a Disney version of it. It's being done by Universal Pictures. Not that makes a big difference at the end of the day, but the Disney live action versions are a little bit different, but I don't know. I guess she just wants to... Let's see, this is a quote. I pulled the plug on all my movies because I want to reassess who I am and find myself with my roles again.
Okay.
I'm realizing that I can slow down. Why not sit back, slow down, realize I'm 19 and go, hey, let's make stuff that really, really hits hard with who I am and helps me figure out what it means to be a 19-year-old actor just doing her thing.
Is she really pulling a Selena Gomez right now? Because she's better than that.
Yeah. I don't know. So,
acting is a job.
I know, but she probably has like lots of money that she could be like, I want to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah. I want to go. Pretty much what she's saying is, I want to go spend some money right now. So leave me alone for a little bit. That's what I hear right there.
Well, it does say, although she's not rushing into a new film project anytime soon, Montez will be keeping busy. The actress is planning on producing, developing TV projects, and campaigning for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah, she was doing that.
So I guess she wanted to focus on other things, which, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the movie is not being produced by Disney. Oh, wait, hold on. There's 2 Little Mermaid movies in production. Just like they're going to make another Jungle Book in a year from now with a different studio.
Yeah. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, it's being made by Andy Serkis, who's Golem, and he's doing his own version of the Jungle Book, which is kind of like why. I just know that movie's going to get just destroyed, but whatever.
Oh my gosh, Chloe Grace Moretz is in the remake of Suspiria. Gosh, I am behind.
So
okay.
So now that we figured this out, Disney is making a new Little Mermaid movie, but it's not connected to the one that Chloe Grace Moretz was a part of. So maybe Disney will hire Chloe, what's her name, Hit Girl, for their version. But anyway, way off topic.
No, we can go from here because I also saw Neighbors 2. Starring.
Yeah. How was it?
I remember I rented this, and oh my god, dude, I've seen so many movies these past few weeks.
Yeah, I saw the list you sent me.
Okay, I'm just gonna slow down one thing at a time. Neighbors 2. It was really fun. It had Zac Efron in it, who was a close contender to
male crush.
Yeah, male crush of the week. But I also just saw Arrival on Thanksgiving, so he kind of won it out. But all the characters in Neighbors 2 were just so fun. And it's a comedy. There's not much to it. And Neighbors... I remember I liked Neighbors, but I wasn't sure if it was the actors who made it good or the story. And I have a difficult time perceiving whether a comedy is good or not. Mm-hmm. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought that Selena Gomez was going to be in it a whole lot, which was a turnoff for me. But thankfully, she's only in it for honestly, it seems like 2 cameos.
You don't like Selena Gomez?
I do not. I'm not a fan.
Mm.
There's nothing appealing to me about her.
You're upset that she dumped Bieber?
I hate both of those. Gosh. The Hollywood Babylon, they always rip on Bieber, and he deserves every bit of it. Let's hear from you for a little bit.
Okay, well, I recently rewatched the Ghostbusters reboot that came out this summer. We had bought it when it first came out on Blu-ray.
Wait, you rewatched it?
Yes.
Okay.
We bought it when it first came out on Blu-ray, and then the other week we were putting together Legos, Christmas-related Legos.
You guys would do that.
And we were like, let's have a movie on the background. So I'm like, well, we haven't watched the Ghostbusters reboot yet. Let's rewatch that. So we watched the extended version. And, when I first saw the movie, I really, really liked it. I've since kind of reassessed it, and I don't think it's a great movie. I think it's good enough. I find it on par with Ghostbusters 2 in terms of quality. But I think there was a lot of missed opportunity in that film. When the characters were allowed to do something on their own, or make the movie their own, it was great. When they were too slavish or devotion to the previous movie, that's where the movie really suffered. There's a couple of things that don't make sense plot-wise, and then I'm not going to waste time explaining all that because it's not worth it.
Yeah, because I remember the Bill Murray thing was just it
was awful.
Yeah, and I was like, what's happening here?
It stops the movie dead.
Yeah.
It really does. But the one thing I noticed, and this is what I wanted to bring up, and I've never seen this on a Blu-ray before, but you know how when you watch a movie, sometimes the movie will have the black bars on the top of the bottom of the screen?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So the Ghostbusters one had that, so nothing odd. That can be kind of common depending on the frame rate of the aspect ratio of the film.
Mm-hmm.
But what was really weird was that every now and again, the special effects, like the proton beam or the ghost or something like that, would flash on the black bars like it was supposed to.
Like it was giving it like a 3D effect.
Yeah, it really threw me for a loop, and I don't know. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a common thing. The only thing I could think of is when the movie was first made, they had a 3D version of it in theaters. I almost wonder if...
Yeah, I think that was them just going like above and beyond, trying to make like a great DVD. Yeah. I liked it. I thought it really caught my attention. Like they really put a lot of thought into this because I don't know. I find that the special features in DVDs are still valuable, and when you get a DVD from like Redbox, you can only see the one. Like this movie.
They give you the bare bones version.
Right, and I really like to watch commentary, and when you rent movies, there is no commentary on it unless you buy it.
Right. So yeah, that really threw me off. Like when I was watching that, and yeah, it's like having a 3D effect without having the actual 3D effect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I never have seen that in any other movie that I've watched. So I don't know if it's a thing or what.
Yeah,
but
I'd like to see that a little bit more, or just to see that people putting some effort into, rather than just transferring this from a, big screen to a little screen.
To give it something a little bit special for the home audience. Yeah.
Right, because most people are watching these movies in their homes. Put a little bit of value into it.
Yeah, especially now that the home theater is such a common thing.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got next?
So when I rented, usually when I go to Redbox, I usually rent one for her and one for me. And so I got Neighbors 2 for her because it was funny. And it had
really? I figured that would be for you because you're...
Well, it was kind of a compromise. She wanted something funny. There was like one other one where I can't watch that. And so this was like, oh, well, it's funny, and it's got Seth Rogen, so it's funny, right? And it sufficed. She liked it. But I got Lights Out. Have you heard of that one? This a horror movie where it's kind of a typical plot, but there's this, I don't know what it is. It's like this evil spirit that lives in the dark. And so whenever the lights are out, this evil spirit comes back. And so you basically have to like stay in the light and make sure like you always have light on you. Kind of like a version of like Freddy Krueger, where you're like you can't go to sleep. You gotta stay in the light.
Okay.
So it was okay. It was just another PG-13 horror movie that was gonna be forgettable, and it was a shame. But it was also kind of refreshing to see just another stupid horror movie.
Well, you like your horror movies.
I like them stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was. I would not recommend this movie to anybody.
Well, let's because there's a couple of things. I'll jump ahead. Because we got some Star Trek to talk about later on, and that's going to be a whole segment. So with the Ghostbusters, after we finished watching Ghostbusters, we still wanted to watch something because we didn't finish with the set.
Yeah.
So my wife, who
Wait, can I pry into this Lego set?
Sure.
Is it a Christmas themed Lego set?
Yes, it's Santa's Workshop.
Okay, is it a new set?
No, it's about 2 years old. Here's the story behind that. Is that every year Lego releases a holiday themed set. And what they do is, and this is kind of a neat feature that they do, if you go into the Lego store like right now, you'll be able to find this year's model and the previous year's model. So usually they have like a 2-year lifespan. Then next year on the shelves will be the one that's this year and the one that's next year. Earlier this year, somewhere around summer, they still had the one from 2 years ago, the one from 2014 on sale. They're trying to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew about these sets, and we finally decided, all right, let's buy them because we didn't get them last year. So we bought the Santa Workshop, which was the 2014 set. And then a little bit after that, we bought the Winter Toy Shop, which was last year's set. And then this year, about a few weeks ago, we bought the, what do they call it? The Winter Holiday Train. We have only put together the Santa's Workshop one so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing how that looks.
Yeah, they're fun to put together. They take time, but man, time goes by fast when you're putting Legos together.
Is it like an instruction book?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the instruction book are, it's really idiot proof. Next time we get together, I'll show you one. It's
Okay.
it's good how they do it.
Cool.
So we were watching a movie, and I told my wife, all right, I picked the last one, you pick this one. And she put on an older movie, and by older I mean maybe 20 years old. I think it came out in the late 90s, called Ever After.
Drew Barrymore?
Yeah, with Drew Barrymore. So you're familiar with this film.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before. It's basically a retelling of the Cinderella story with a little bit more of a little bit more comical, and without all the fantasy elements that Cinderella has. I liked it. I mean, it was a fun little flick.
Yeah.
I thought the characters were good. I liked the retelling style. It had a very feminist bent to it, which is also pretty neat. But it didn't like hit you over the head with it too, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I mean, I'm familiar with it, and I know I've seen it, but I don't think I was paying very much attention to it.
I don't know if it's a movie I would run to watch again and again really quickly, but for a light entertainment, it can't do too bad.
Cool.
Can't be too bad. What about you? What do you got next on your list?
Yeah, I finished Luke Cage, the Netflix series.
How was it? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
It's kind of weird because I watched Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. And while they're all very, very similar, like they pretty much take place in Harlem and Hell's Kitchen, I actually found that they were all very different from one another. Daredevil being the best of the three, and Jessica Jones being the worst. But Luke Cage really pulled through because I was getting real bored with it at like the 25% mark of the season. But then it really pulled me back in a very weird way. Like I wasn't sure why I was liking it, but it just kept on dragging me in. There wasn't a central antagonist villain in this, and so it was confusing me, like, who is he really fighting after? And I don't know if that was intentional. You haven't seen any of these, right?
I saw the first episode of Daredevil, and I couldn't get into it, so I'm like, I'm done. I do want to watch Luke Cage. That one actually looks kind of interesting because for superhero movies, it's something new. It's a very I don't want to call it like a blaxploitation type of take on it, but I mean, you don't see a lot of black superheroes with black supporting casts and in that sort of world. So that's something new. That's something different. So it intrigues me on that end.
And there's so many connections, little connections that they can make. Like I was trying so hard to find the connections to Daredevil and Jessica Jones without looking it up explicitly on the internet. And I don't think I actually figured it out, but the entire time I was like trying to look for like Daredevil in the background. Rosario Dawson is kind of the connecting factor between all of them at this point, which is pretty cool.
They're going to have a one more show before they have a team-up show.
Right. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to whatever happens because Iron Fist is coming out, right?
That's the next one, yeah.
Right. And I know absolutely nothing about Iron Fist other than he's got that headband type thing.
You want to know something?
What's that?
Nobody knows anything about Iron Fist because nobody cares about that character.
Yeah, they got to resurrect the unknown ones.
They're starting to scratch the bottom of the barrel to like bring out characters.
But yeah, with Luke Cage also, yeah, the villains, I couldn't figure out who was the central villain because none of the villains really had like superpowers like he does. I wish that they did have a central villain so that, like, I could focus on them. But the last villain ended up being.
Don't tell me! I do want to watch this one.
Okay.
I think when I'm on my break from work for the holidays, I might power through. Luke Cage, because it's only like 10 episodes long.
Oh no, it's 13 50-minute episodes.
Yeah, I could marathon that within 2 days or so.
It took us a few weeks. She didn't really like this one as much, but yeah, something got me going with it. The theme music, because apparently this is kind of like a 70s superhero, and
Yeah.
the outfit is very 70s, but the theme is very 70s, and it really keeps you. It got me excited every single time they played any music, whether it was the rap or some just like background music, because it was like it really put you in the mood, and they incorporated it into it. Because there's one of the central locations is a nightclub, and the nightclub is always having music, and it really draws you in. So it was surprising that it got me so hooked.
Well, I look forward to watching it.
Yeah. So as soon as I finished that, I wanted to watch Dark Matter, which is a completely different show. I've mentioned this before, but they're on their second season right now. And it's just about these guys who are in space who like lose their memory and then like get into hijinks. It's really bad, but it is honestly like a teen drama for men. I was just thinking how much fun it would be to be in this series, because the script is just like so like, I guess I shouldn't have done that. And it's just like, oh my gosh, really? But for some reason, I'm just gonna keep on watching it. Because it's I don't know.
It's your thing. You get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody watch this, but for some reason I'm just digging in deeper. So that's my next show that I'm watching.
Speaking of TV shows and speaking of superheroes, which we were just mentioning a few moments ago, one of the things I've been watching is I've been trying to play a lot of Ketchup to some of the shows that I watch. And because ever since I went on my honeymoon about almost 2 months ago, I just haven't been able to catch up with some of the shows that I missed out on. So my DVR has been loaded with a variety of things, specifically a lot of the DC CW shows, such as Flash, Arrow, The Legends, and Supergirl. And I'm almost caught up. They earlier this past week they had a 4-episode crossover.
Oh, that's huge.
Crossover event, yeah. So I'm kind of curious how that one gets pulled off. But they so they had that, and so I'm not quite caught up yet. But
wait, what is Legends?
Legends is it's called like DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Is that a Netflix series?
No, it's on the CW. It's
I'm not familiar with that.
The first season is on Netflix. It is.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
They probably just added it. The show took the Legend show took a bunch of side characters from Flash and Arrow, and did their own spin-off with all of them as a team, and they travel through time trying to make sure people don't harm time.
Oh, that looks fun.
It's a really cheesy show. I mean, it's goofy, and you can't take it very seriously.
Is that Brandon Ruth?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He has a reoccurring. He had a reoccurring character on Arrow during its third year, and
go Brandon Ruth.
So I've been trying to get caught up with these shows, and for the most part, a lot of these shows are better this year than they were last year. Flash had a lousy year. Arrow had a lackluster year. Legends had a problem getting started, and the shows have improved. Supergirl is now on the CW. It's good, but honestly, after a while, all these shows seem exactly the same. With the exception of Legends, they have the same setup, where there's a team that supports the main hero, while the main hero goes out and stops the bad guy. And then each team has someone who is the heart of the team, trying to make sure the good guy, the main character, hey, don't give up. You still got it. You have the nerdy tech guy who is, he's like, I know computers and I can do all technical stuff.
Yeah.
You have the relationship drama. I mean, each of these shows are almost exactly the same. And as much as I'm trying to like Supergirl, which I do, I find it really difficult to care because it's the newest of the three. I've seen these episodes. I've seen this show before.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with it, and then we'll see where it goes, see where it takes me. But yeah, one of the reasons I like the Legends show is because it's a different format from the other three shows. So
that I think I might check out the Legends of Tomorrow. I didn't know Brandon Ruth was in it. and he's a major pull for me. Hawkman, huh?
Yeah, Hawkman's in it.
Oh, and Hawk Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain Cold. Good name.
Captain Cold, Heat Wave, and the White Canary. Yeah, they got. It's a good team. It's a good lineup.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
Because since you're all or catching up with all of these, have you seen the episodes of Flash and Supergirl with Kevin Smith?
No. I don't think the Kevin Smith Supergirl episode doesn't air until it's the next one to air.
Okay.
So.
But you've seen the Flash ones, right?
I think he's only directed one Flash one.
Okay.
But yes, I did see that one.
Was Jason Mewes in there?
Yes.
Was he good?
Totally distracting. It's like one of those, like, they wrote the scene specifically for him because the scene is just so out of place. It's not very long, but if memory serves, Jason Mewes is walking out of like some sort of diner with a date, and he's like talking to his date like he's like hot shit, and then he looks and I guess his car was stolen. He's like, "Where's my car? Who stole my car?" And it's just so it's so corny. It sticks out so much.
Yeah.
But Kevin Smith owns Jason Mewes, so
He does.
Anyway, what do you got next on your thing here?
Well, transitioning into you see how I did that? A Kevin Smith inspired watching was just some random movie that I didn't realize that Kevin Smith was attached to, called Holidays on Netflix. It was.
Is this the one that's like they have a bunch of different stories?
Yeah, it's there's one story for each holiday.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this movie.
Yeah, the only reason that I watched it was because I saw that Kevin Smith was attached to it. These compilation stories are weird, and it takes a certain mood to get into them because and they're kind of gaining traction right now with the ABCs of Death. But it's just difficult to really pull me into them. I do admit that there were quite a few good segments and a lot of good use of makeup. For instance, they did an Easter bunny in this, and this Easter bunny was sick looking. So I really like that. So there were a lot of these that I was like, oh gosh, that's just weird, and I don't care. Like one of them gave birth to a snake, and it's just like,
That is a little odd.
So, but the segment with Kevin Smith, and it actually turned out that his daughter Harley Quinn was in there also, and it was, didn't
yes, God forbid she does get something on her own merits. Yes, I can ruin your movie. What? I'm so baked right now. Sure, all right.
So I would not recommend this unless you're like a big compilation aficionado.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
What about? Oh, one other thing I've been doing a lot lately with my wife. We've been playing. We got for one of our wedding gifts. We got a Wii U. We've been playing a lot of Super Mario Land 3D World. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, when last time we went over there, we played your Too Fast, Too Furious level.
Mario Maker, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if I was just pretty deep into the liquor at that point, but that was a lot of fun. And I don't. Is it a challenging level?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be.
Okay, because I remember it just being ridiculous, but it just kept on pulling me back in. And then Henry was able to do it, and I honestly thought he was like a god at that point.
Yeah, the idea behind the level is that it's supposed to be a challenge, but it's one of those challenges that it doesn't make you want to throw the controller, but like you get a little further each time. You're like, I can do it this time, so you have to go back and play it again.
Yeah. If I had that, I don't think that I would create my own levels, but you convinced me that maybe I can.
It's a lot of fun. The best way, I learned this tip, and I got to start employing it because I haven't had a chance to make a lot of levels on the Mario Maker lately. But you got to plan out your thing in advance and like doodle your level on a piece of paper first before like just going hog wild, because it'll definitely help you out trying to figure out what you need to do. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Really quickly, it was when I was in Ohio. I knew I was gonna have like an hour flight, and then like I was gonna be in a hotel for the week. So I ended up buying this just totally random book on my Nook called The Terranauts, which has been like totally drawing me in. I feel like I've said that like
a lot of things
times.
draw you in, I've noticed.
But yeah, this book is really interesting and fun. It's kind of like a silent running cross with Biodome.
Like,
type.
I'm thinking Biodome, the movie starring.
No, yeah, that's what it's. The Terranauts is these people go into this biodome and they basically have to live there for 2 years and they have to like sustain themselves. And it goes through each of the people's point of views as they get selected to go in there. And it's like a big corporate mainstream media type thing where they're really trying to make money and advertising on it. So at the same time, they're like trying to like struggle to survive in there, and at the same time, they have a corporation like trying to tell them like clean up, mind your manners and all that. So it's really good, and I like that science fiction type of stuff, and it's really good. I'm in the middle of that amongst some Doctor Strange comics that I picked up at
DuPage Comic-Con.
The DuPage Comic-Con.
How was it? Is it exactly the same as before?
Well, I've never gone to I've only been going to these comic book conventions for a few years with you, and this was the first time that I ever went to one of these like on my own.
Oh.
And it was I felt kind of weird because part of it is that was like the day was like so cold, and so it was just kind of gloomy, and I was like, ah. But I went there with the intention of getting some good deals on comics, and I certainly did. I mean, this place is awesome because it's like a 5-minute drive from my house, and the deals are just crazy there.
Yeah.
I ended up getting some Luke Cage and Doctor Strange and probably some She-Hulk. I always seem to get She-Hulk comics.
She-Hulk's your girl.
Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, it was. I think I'm gonna keep on going, not because it's very much fun, but because it's local. You still get to see some. It's like a 20% of C2E2.
Yeah.
So it's still got a little bit to it.
You go for the deals, not so much for all the entertainment value.
Right. I was getting very perturbed with some of the people there.
Really?
It was, I think I'm just too patient. I found that I'm a very patient person, and I was being too patient. And these people who are just, they have like a journal full of comics that they're going for.
Oh my God.
And they're just going through every single one, and I'm like, I just want to go into the D for Doctor Strange. And I'm sitting around waiting for like 20 minutes.
That is annoying. Like, I get having a list. I mean, it's good to have a list if you're looking for certain ones. But yeah, that is obnoxious when they just like hog the area where no one can get around them. And they put like the books that they found on top of another area that it's like, I don't want to move your books.
Like, stay in your row. That's especially if I'm like hovering over you. You know?
Be considerate of your fellow convention goers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst. That sucks.
So one last thing before we get into Star Trek. We watched Batteries Not Included.
What's that about?
Have you heard of this one?
I feel like I did, but I don't know.
Yeah, apparently I should have heard about it. When was it? It's a 1987 Disney movie, maybe? I feel it was very 80s, but I had never seen it before, but it was like straight up like I should have seen this. But it's just about this it was a very 80s plot. Like some big corporation is tearing down the neighborhood, and there's like one apartment building where they're like, we're not gonna let them boss us around. And then they have like the typical like Latino gang who's like coming in and wrecking everybody's lives. And then they get these two robots, which are like little UFO things that plug into the wall and basically fix everything overnight, like in this apartment. So it's like pristine, and then the gang members come and destroy it, and then the robots fix it, and they're like, what's going on? It's a Steven Spielberg presents Oh, and it was Mick Garris, and that is why I was interested in it, because Mick Garris has a lot of horror credits, including some involvement with Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
So I like him, and that was part of the draw for me. But it was the movie was pretty good. Yeah, I would recommend this to anybody looking for. I want to say it was like an independent '80s movie, if there was independent movies back then.
Oh yeah, there's independent movies all the time. Star Wars is an independent movie.
Yeah, back then it was.
Well, yeah. And technically the prequels were too, but now it's not.
Yeah, there is Star Wars commercials for everything, and it's just like, But that is what it is.
Alrighty.
So
now we got to the section of the show where we talk about Star Trek.
yeah.
So you finished up watching The Voyage Home the other day.
Yeah. It started like the first 15 or 20 minutes, and then I fell asleep or something, and so I finished. I watched it all out with some knowledge now as to why he's wearing the headband. But I still don't understand why he was wearing the robe.
That's what I guess Vulcans wear. It's like clothing.
Okay, so that was just like alien Vulcan attire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just
but
never
the
changed.
movie was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It had the whales were so cool, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same robot that they use in the first and last scene that you see them. But I was like, it's okay, because it's animatronics and it's great.
You know, it's funny when you texted me that you said you finished the movie. You had watched. I'm assuming you watched it the same day you texted me.
Oh yeah.
That was actually the 30th anniversary of when that movie first came out that you watched it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Or is it 30? Yeah, 80, 90. Yeah, 30th anniversary. Go that.
But yeah, I am definitely going to start watching more Star Trek, because it's like a really good story, and it's got a whole universe, and I love to get in, like, just delve deep into these universes that I'm unfamiliar with.
Well, they have all the TV shows are on Netflix, so
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get through those.
why not? You just watch an episode a day, and you'll get done in 1
I'm
year.
also a person who has to watch them like slowly and pause during like bathroom breaks. So I do not just like coast through these unless I'm like desperate to get through it, which
You could probably skip Voyager. That one wasn't very good.
yeah. I can tell you that the next ones I'm going to watch are going to be the Earl Grey guy.
Oh, the Patrick Stewart ones?
Yeah, Patrick Stewart.
If I may make a suggestion.
Let's hear it.
Before you do that one, I recommend watching Star Trek 6. It's the last one with the Captain Kirk's crew.
Okay.
And it kind of ties in a little bit to Star Trek 2, 3, and 4.
That would be fantastic, so that any bit of my confusion can be alleviated.
Well, I don't know if it won't really. It doesn't. If you don't watch it, and you watch the Next Generation movies. It doesn't. Not having seen 6 won't impact it, but
yeah. But I want to know, like, okay, so Patrick Stewart is here now. What happened to William Shatner? I want to know, like, why is it not the same person anymore?
it takes place 70 years apart from one another.
Yeah, but I want them to tell me that.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you have to say about Star Trek?
Star Trek's great. I think at some point in time we should do a podcast on the entirety of Star Trek 2, 3, and 4, since that's basically one big story.
I can do that.
But
I mean, I'm not at the point of doing the X-Files files where we just do an analysis of each episode.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, we look at the 3 movies as one big story for an episode.
Kumail Nanjiani, if you are listening, please put up more podcasts, because it's been like half a year since you put up a new X-Files podcast, and I'm waiting.
He's been busy. He's like in every single movie, I feel like.
Yeah, but if you start a podcast doing commentary on every single X-Files episode, I'm going to expect you to finish it and not just like cop out after the 4th season. Because it's a legit and good podcast. So, and I am a podcaster. So
his sole goal to do the to do that podcast was to get cast in the X-Files. He succeeded, so he doesn't need to.
I honestly feel like he's like selling out. Like he got what he wanted. He's in movies. He's in Silicon Valley doing great. And now he's like, I'll just skip that out. But dude, you got to keep at it.
Well, going back to Star Trek briefly.
Yeah.
One thing I've been doing, I checked this book out from the library. I've been reading a Star Trek book. I don't know why. I just kind of had the desire to read a Star Trek novel. I don't usually get into like the tie-in fiction, as they call it. But I've read other books when I was younger by these authors, and I hadn't read this one. So it's called Star Trek Federation, and it's a story that, and I'm only about 100 pages into it. It's a story that somehow connects an adventure that Captain Kirk and Captain Picard, that's Patrick Stewart's character, somehow get involved with. And I don't know how they connect because they take place in different time periods.
Oh, right.
I don't know. I just kind of wanted to go through it. So far, it's a slow-moving book, so I'm kind of see where it's going to be taking us. But it's interesting. One of the things I love about early Star Trek novels, and this one wasn't too early, but it was before one of the movies, which completely contradict it, is I love how before the Star Trek universe, the rules in it were really nailed down, that authors would just write, kind of whatever, and then later on, movies and TV shows would just completely contradict it. So I love seeing those differences in what the authors wrote versus what later turned out to be the truth or the canon of the show. So it's always fun. And this book has a big one in it. And one of the things in the Star Trek history was how warp drive was invented and the inventor behind it.
Yeah.
And in one of the movies, in one of the Next Generation movies, they go back in time and interact with that creation of warp drive. It's kind of a fun little movie. I think you would like it because it has the villains in that movie are robot zombies. But
okay, yeah.
But like the version of events that's being outlined in this book are completely different than from what's later established. So it's kind of neat seeing another take on that. So.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
And the only other thing I have, and when I was little, I had Star Trek toys, which many of them I still own. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. One of them, I have one of the ships, like the Star Trek. I was like one of the Star Trek Enterprise ships.
Yeah.
I came across it about a year ago, and I'm like, I want to hang on to this. I kind of want to do some work on it, like maybe give it a paint job to make it spruce it up a little bit from the basic how it looked there. But the only problem was all the stickers I had on it are old. They're peeling off. They look kind of crappy. And I was wondering, like, how would I get new stickers to, like, put some details? So first I was looking into, models that might be about the same size to, like, see if I can get their decals and, like, put the decals on them. But just today I came across a website that sells the old stickers for this toy. And,
is it the actual spaceship?
Yeah, it's about maybe a foot and a half long.
Okay.
It looks like it'd be like one of those models that you put together.
Right.
It used to make sounds and everything, but it's long stopped doing that.
Yeah.
But I was actually surprised that there's a website out there that produces like these old stickers for like old toys that if you want to get like a new one. So I'm seriously considering putting in an order. This sheet of stickers is about $15. Which, yes, it's expensive, but honestly, for something that's that rare, that's probably a good price.
That's right up your alley.
Yeah. So I'm very excited that might be a possibility. So another project I probably will never get to, but, it's kind of neat that the option is there.
Yeah. Oh, super cool. I think that will wrap up this episode of Ketchup. So, all right. Well, I am the Gorehound.
I'm Nick.
And you have been listening to the all-new Culture Cast.
You didn't seem confident in that.
I didn't?
You're like, and you've been listening to the all... Like...
Oh, it was kind of like a radio.
Oh,
You've been listening to the all-new Culture Cast. Catch you next week.
This is smooth jazz. Up next. Political talk.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You've been listening to the all-new CultureCast, where every episode is all new. Check out our blog, Zach and Nick's CultureCast, at znculturecast.wordpress.com, and find us on social media. Send us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, comments, and requests. Theme music by bensound.com. The all-new CultureCast, a saltwater production, copyright 2016.